we'll start with SFX, okay? So let's get this out of the way. So let's talk about some of the new updates that we have made and some of the things that you can expect following next week, right? So let me share my screen quickly. Let me know if you guys can see my screen. Let me share Google Chrome. Okay, actually, let me just open up the browser and let's go speak about SFX. Right. Let me see if you guys can see my screen. If you see my screen, drop a number 8, please. So I know you guys 100% can see that. Let me check. Awesome, awesome. That's amazing. Okay. So let's go in and speak about some of these key updates on SFX. So the number one update that we have done, right? And we've been working behind the scene, the engineering team is working really, really hard to make sure we, do this big upgrade on SFX and it works as expected. So as you know, we have sent you, a lot of you guys invitation to come and test out the indices. And I know many of you guys follow Titan app and it has amazing, amazing results. So why not make those strategies available directly on SFX too, right? And with that being said, first thing I would like to share with you is that we have statistic now, right? Now, not everybody can see this statistic yet, right? We are still sort of making sure all the data are correct, but this is what it's going to look like. So you have proper measurement of some of the, the trades that's been executed by your Smart Assist. And yeah, so that's what it looks like. I think it's pretty cool. You get more transparency. You get to see how your strategy is working. So that's really, really cool feature. The second thing is that we have a whole new bunch of presets. So there are two presets for indices. There's one preset for gold and there's one preset for, regular index symbol like US 30, NAS 100, and those instruments. The reason we have these two presets, and it's very important you guys understand this. When it comes to the gold on pretty much all the broker, it works based on this, in terms of the movement of the price is measured in pips, right? When it comes to pretty much all other instrument on indices, the price movement is measured in points. So if you set up a gold with, let's just say 10 points, that's essentially 100 pips, right? So avoid this confusion, we made a separate preset, right? And you can follow these presets from here, right? So for example, Dave, he sends trade ideas on various different symbols, right? He sends on US 30, he sends also in gold and German 30 and so on, right? So you can find two presets for David. In this case, here's gold, and then here you'll find the regular indices, right? The same way for Ray, he has his regular, as you can see, instruments, and for gold, he has a separate one. As you can see, that's the one, right? Now, if you want to copy this preset, just click on copy. And I know some of you are probably asking this question, hey, I don't have access to these providers. How come other people have it? It's because they have accepted the invitation that we have sent them on the email. But don't worry, we are making this available by next week. So you'll be able to copy those indices preset. In terms of who can access them, we clarified on our previous call that all the existing customers who have Shift, or the customers who have just access to Titan, you guys will have access to these new providers. So as you can see, we've added all these providers here, right? And also we have added synthetics also. Again, synthetic is, again, we are pretty much letting people who trade synthetic to test out and see how they, like the results. So this is something also going to be available, but we will not release it next week for synthetic. It will be just for the indices. So synthetic still will be available for you on a private invitation. So if there's more people want to try synthetic, we'll probably send out another form for you to fill up so that it's available only to you, not necessarily to everyone. But it's something that we have not officially made an announcement whether we're going to release synthetic next week yet, right? But indices, yes, we are releasing it. Now, let's quickly take a look at the smart assist that here I have, right? As you can see, I have a bunch of synthetic trade ideas running right now. So let's take a look at, for example, this one. Here I have, so I want to share with you, let me quickly go back. Let's go to a settings, right? So whenever you're setting up a preset, right? If you're going to use gold, make sure you only select gold, right? You don't want to mix up with these ones, right? As you can see, you'll receive a validation message right away that you cannot mix gold with other simple. That's very, very important. Okay, so just pay attention to that. In terms of the presets, we pretty much got these presets from those trade idea providers in terms of what should be the settings. As you can see, for gold is following the exact stop loss price as the trade idea, and you have risk to reward ratio is set to 1:1. But that's essentially not the exact signal when you receive it. So for example, when you're receiving a trade, let's just say it has 30 pips stop loss and 15 pips TP1. If you select 1:1, what's going to happen is that it's going to make your TP1 as 30 pips, right? When you're selecting this. But we are making it more flexible. So on the next update, you'll be able to select different risk to reward ratio. But this is not the most important thing in terms of how you exit the trade, right? So when you're entering the trade, yes, it's risk to 1:1. But when you want to exit the trade, this is what's important, right? So in this case, we don't have partial take profit. We don't have break even for gold. We're simply activating trailing stop loss. So soon it reaches 18 pips, your stop loss moves above 15 pips, right? And it starts trailing, right? So in case if it doesn't continue beyond 18 pips, and if it goes down to 15 pips, the trade will close. So that's, for example, Nate, that's the settings that he has on his specific strategy that if you want to follow, right? That's one thing, right? Another thing I want to share with you guys is that when it comes to gold or any other cryptocurrency, sorry, any other forex pairs that you're trading, one of the things that I've received is how can I edit my trade? So for example, although your take profit could be at 18 pips, right? But maybe you want to close earlier, or maybe you want to keep the trade open, even more for longer period of time. You can always edit the trade here under active trade. So you can change all the settings. And let me see if I can demonstrate that for you. So let me open one of these open trades. Let's say, let me open him. So as you can see here, you can do two things, right? You can edit the trade and you can set up a partial profit. You can even turn it off if you want to, right? Or you can add break even. So you can always edit your open trades. And I think many people don't know that just because you have set up Smart Assist with some, pre-configured condition, but you may receive a notification from the trade idea provider to say, he probably will say move stop loss to break even, right? So you could do that from here, right? And you can also update your overall take profit and stop loss if you want to. So those options are available for you there, right? When it comes to brokers, we have sent an invitation form, as you know, to add more brokers. We have received a lot of requests to add more brokers that supports on MT5. So we are adding that right now. So that's that. When it comes to the features, we have another very important feature that's coming. Most likely it'll be available next week, is the ability to add a, let me open this, to be able to add a negative break even, right? So for example, currently you can only add break even on positive value, right? So for example, here, I want to be able to add, for example, let me show you that I want to set my stop loss to 15 pips. Soon it reaches maybe, let's just say, so let's say the profit distance is at 15 pips or 15 points in this case. I need to be able to add minus 15 as my stop loss. So that means your stop loss risk will reduce on a gradual basis. So you can put like any number of negative break-even value. And that's something very much requested even by some of the traders to be able to add this. So that's something going to be available for you guys to start utilizing that. Okay, so that's pretty much on the SFX. In terms of what are the key major updates that's going to come in, like major services, features, other than that, what you just see right now, that's going to be unveiled in the convention. So I hope to see you guys there, because we really have some exciting news in terms of what we are bringing in SFX, right? Other than, all this stuff that you see on the marketplace, what are the trading avenues that we can bring in to give you guys more opportunities, give you guys more options? Now, let's quickly talk about some of the features that we have released when it comes to the crypto, right? But before I move into the crypto, let me see if you guys have any specific question, I can certainly take for SFX. Maybe I have missed some points. So let me know if you guys have any particular question. Okay, someone asked, when will we be able to link it with funded account? So that's a very good question. So right now, as you know, we support a broker called FTMO, but of course, if there's other legitimate brokers, because we are very cautious in terms of what kind of brokers we add, right? So we as a company do not necessarily recommend any brokers, but if you feel that there are some legitimate funded brokers or prop firms like FTMO, we can certainly look into it. We probably will send like another form purely based on prop firms, right, that are legitimate. Now, in terms of whether prop firms regulation or the policies that they have, whether are you allowed to use a strategy like that on SFX, that's depends on the policies, right? But the typical policy that I've seen is that if they see, right, there are multiple people, right, hundreds and hundreds of people on the same broker placing the same trade from the same IP address, they do have issues with that. Now, when it comes to SFX, our system is pretty versatile. So it has like probably 20, 30, even hundreds of IP addresses. So that kind of doesn't necessarily shows that these trades are executed from the same server. However, we do going to offer a dedicated IP address. That's something that we are working on, where people who are very cautious and they want to make sure that they are complying with the policies of those funded accounts and so on, you'll be able to get a dedicated IP address, right, just for you. So when you place a trade with your Smart Assist, from the broker's perspective, they will only see your IP address. So it's not going to conflate with other IP addresses. So that's going to be something I would say very, very useful for funded accounts. So that's definitely something that we're going to add. Someone said, let's say I'm a good trader and there's a good traders in the team. When will the future come for us to send trades to the team? Fantastic. And this is something that we're going to speak about. We're going to speak about how this is, this is just one small portion of what we're going to talk about in the convention. And I will tell you the exact options that's going to be available for everybody. Because one of the key things I always say to people is that we are not building a trading bot, right? We're not building a specific strategy, right? Because it is inherently not scalable for long term. What we are building is a technology, an engine that is versatile to be able to give you the flexibility to create different opportunities, right? So you will be able to get trades from different channels, right? You are able to do various different things, right? I give you that flexibility. If we had just created a copy trading type of system, it would not be for long term, right? So that's what we've been really focusing on. And this is something we're going to talk about in terms of how someone in the community who is a very, very good trader and how they can quickly plug in instantly to the system and able to give, those trades to rest of the people, right? Those, again, I don't want to spill all the beans. We're going to speak that on convention, but this is a very, very good question. So the other question is, any future updates for Mindhub courses? And so that would be another topic, I would say, Danny. But in terms of the courses, I can definitely tell you the courses that we're working on specifically related to SageMaster. And that's something I'm going to talk about in the end. I'm going to showcase you some of the materials what we're working on to make people an expert in SageMaster, right? Can we add CTrader? It is in the pipeline. CTrader, it is in the pipeline. So it will be available very, very soon. We do not have many synthetic brokers. We don't know many synthetic brokers. If you guys know some good synthetic brokers, again, please leave a comment on the voice form. Now, again, I don't want to take too much time, guys. Let me quickly go into the next updates, right? So you guys understand what the next update is. I'm sure you guys have seen a pretty cool video on DCA 2.0, right? Now, if you guys remember, we used to have, we still have it, which is simple. If you guys using this specific assist, I suggest you guys stop using it because we're gonna terminate this completely by the convention, because there will be something else gonna be here, right? It's not a replacement, it's gonna be something else. But the replacement is AI DCA 2.0, because everything that you saw on Simple, the DCA 2.0 has it. Now, let me quickly explain to you, right, how the new DCA 2.0 works in practically. So this is something I started last night, and I seen that Italo who sent a trade, and I'm trading on a, keep in mind, like $100 or something, right? So I know it's not impressive, but in terms of the percentage, it was impressive, right? So it's setting, okay, I don't have enough funds on this one. So let me explain to you how the Smart Assist works, right? Sorry, the Smart Take Profit, right? And in order for me to do this, let me quickly edit this, right? And let me go, let me come here to the, actually, this is turned off. So let me explain to you. So this is something very, very new that we have implemented. We have not seen that previously. And how this works is basically like this. Let me go to the trading view chart. So let's just say you received a signal, right? And this was your entry. So this is your entry here somewhere, right? Traditionally, what happens is that you have this 1, 2, 3 different take profit levels, right? And the challenge is that you are not entirely sure, of course. In trading, everything is probable. Nothing is guaranteed. So it may reach take profit 2, or you may reach take profit 1, and then you could hit the stop loss immediately, right? So what smart take profit does is it moves your entry, right, straight to the take profit 1, right? So essentially your stop loss. So if you have a stop loss right here, what this is going to do is that it's going to move to the take profit 1 soon. Let's just say it reaches so soon it reaches take profit 2, right? So imagine you entered here and it's continued to going. It reached TP1, it took partial profit maybe, and then it reaches TP2. Your stop loss then moves in a instead of trailing, because trailing you would move like this, but when it comes to smart take profit, it moves in a step. So step 1, it moves to TP1. Step 2, it moves to TP2, right? That way, it kind of makes your trade risk-free in a more smart way. So it's kind of like smart break even, you could say, but it happens dynamically as the market moves, if that makes sense. And what's going to happen when your last take profit? So imagine you have 3 take profit. You take partial profit on TP1, let's just say 40%, and then you take partial profit on TP2, another 40%, and then you are kind of here right now, right, but not reaching TP3 yet, right? But you can set up something called trailing take profit. So soon it touches that, the smart take profit stops working. Your trailing TP takes over, and it starts trying to follow the market, right? So you pretty much start to follow the market and closes on the maximum profit, right? So that's really the idea. And I can show you an example quickly. Let me come here. Let me go to Gino's, because I know he sent like 3 trade. And if we take a look here, right, it's showing that I've made 12 USDT, 2%, right? But if we open this, and if we open it here, as you can see, I've already taken 1 take profit order, right? Although it is not showing, but I already made realized profit. But normally, right, this is, you will have unrealized profit until, your take profit 1 gets closed. But in this case, I'm partially taking profit. And at the same time, right, my stop loss, as you can see, has also moved. So in case, if this trade from 10, as you can see, is right now on the 10, right? In case it reaches 10.0.4, it retraces back to my original entry price. Remember, this is where I placed the trades, 9.7.4. My stop loss also is now 9.7.4. So I have nothing to lose here. I would end up closing with, right, whatever the profit that I've made, and I would not have to hold on to this trade. That's the difference it makes with smart take profit, right? And before you're not able to do that. So that makes it very, very interesting, because that means the trade would get closed without having to go for days, right? Because you're on unrealized profit and now you're waiting for a trade to hit certain measures, right? So this is really, really good. So every time it reaches TP1, your stop loss gets adjusted. And then every time you will reach, so soon you reach TP2, the stop loss will move to TP1. Soon it reaches TP3, stop loss will move to TP2, and so on and so on. So the stop loss will continue to move from left to right, and that's what makes it very good. Now, I know many people in the past asked me, okay, other than the signal providers, right? So we have so many different providers here. How can I just run a strategy by myself? And that's what I'm going to show to you guys shortly. Now, if you guys want to use the new DCA 2.0, you're pretty much free to use it, right? And we've done one big improvements. So you don't have to go and set up all those configuration. If you click on, for example, here, let's say Gino, start assist, is going to take you to a preset, right? So essentially, you don't have to set everything up. Gino provided his strategy based on these new features, and he actually works very well with his strategy. In this case, like, you also do not need to have to invest so much here. So although it's showing 4,000, you can pretty much ignore that. I can just start with 300. You don't have to follow this. Okay, so he's saying minimum I need 400. Okay, so pretty much there's a minimum amount you need for certain strategy of the providers. So in this case, I need to have minimum 400 USDT to follow his strategy. And that's pretty much it, right? And then I can click on start assist, and which I pretty much have already done, right? So that's something that you can follow. Is very easy. You don't necessarily have to start from scratch. So let me quickly take a look at our chat if there's any question. How we can work. Kindly let's talk about institution. I don't understand that question. Yes, this is Geno setting combo preset. Yes, that's it. That's the exact one. You can follow that. Yeah, you can start with 400. You don't have to go with 4,000. 4,000 is saying what is the maximum based on the settings it could possibly utilize, but you can start with a very small amount. So that's totally okay. Okay, that's a very good question. When could we only set sell or buy on SFX strategy? We have we have a lot of new settings for the SFX assist that's coming. You'll be able to create different assists based on different direction. So you can have one trader just for buy, another one just for sell. You can do that. You can also set up trade based on limit order or market order. So those settings will be available for you very, very soon. Someone can translate those Spanish and Italian question, please. I like to address them soon. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Now, let me show you a strategy that I use. So if you're someone who's kind of like using crypto, but you pretty much like long-term strategies, right? So for example, here I've created a long-term strategy. I'm running it for a few months. It's called Sol Accumulation. My goal is to look at some of the high liquid currency in the market. So in this case, in the crypto, and the ones that are moving sideways, right? I want to accumulate them for long term, right? Whether it's BTC, whether it's Ethereum. So in this case, as you can see, I made $1,600 profit on this, right? And if we go to see how much percentage, that's about 49%. Now, this strategy is not based off any signal. It's not based off any provider. Anyone can set this up. And I'm going to show you how, because this is the exact steps that I followed to set up this strategy, okay? So if you understand dollar cost averaging, is that it can even work without a signal. So if I go to the settings, and if you look at my trigger condition here, as you can see, I'm not using any provider. I'm starting the trade instantly. So I can set up all the settings, right? I can give all the settings, and I can just click on start a new trade, and you'll open a new trade. And that's it. So let me show you in terms of the steps that I followed, right? So here, as you can see on Master GPT, I'm telling Master GPT, this is the prompt, and I can share that with you guys too. I said, you are a DCA expert, analyze Sol USDT using the ATR indicator and calculate the percentage deviation for placing extra buys. I have 1,000 USDT to allocate, specify the number of extra buys and percentage between each. So basically what I'm telling Master GPT, and I know it's a pretty long prompt, but we can make it even short. I'm just saying, hey, I want to start a DCA strategy on a specific cryptocurrency, and I want you to give me the settings that I can use, right, to start this strategy, right? So in this case, it came back and is saying 1% is what I should pretty much use, 1.76% for my deviation. So deviation essentially is basically when you go into the market and if the price continues to go down, place another extra order or the extra investment to lower down your cost, right? So that's what DCA pretty much is. So in this case, it gave me all these settings, right? As you can see here, right? So it's saying is that my first order will be placed on market execution 250 USDT. My second order will be placed after market goes down, the price goes down by 1%. My third order will be placed after it goes down by 2.1%, right? And my fourth order will be placed after 3.2%, right? So I could just follow this, right? And this is how exactly I've set my Sol USDT based on these settings, right? So if I quickly, let me just actually go and click set up a new DCA. Let's call it Master GPT DCA, hips, whatever. And I'm gonna use my spot, and I want to use, in this case, is Sol because that's what the analysis was done on. I'm gonna click on next. So my base order will be 250 because remember, I have $1,000 that I want to put on this long-term strategy. So long-term, essentially, I'm saying between 1 month to 3 months, right? That's my long-term strategy, or it could be even 6 months. So my first order, as per the Master GPT, right, will be $250 at market order. My profit would be in USDT because I want to make profit in USDT, right? Next, I want to select my trade start condition. In this case, I don't need any signal providers. I don't need any indicators. This could just purely work based on DCA concept, right? Then I can click on next. And as you can see, this is our second extra order. And here we have to define at what point we want to place this order based on price condition. So it would be again 250, right? Sorry, 250. And I can say price deviation is 1.07, I believe. So every time price goes down by 1.07, it's going to place $250 extra orders. And I'm going to change that to 3 because that's all I have, right? As you can see, it's like 1,000. There's $10 extra I need to have to use this because I believe because of the extra deviation, right? And in this case, that's it. That's pretty much it. And then when it comes to my take profit, like I could even set up a smart take profit on this here also, but it's not necessary. I could just set up like 30% take profit. The reason I'm putting 30%, because if you look at Sol USDT, is always moving between 120 and $190 entire 2024, right? You will always see it's going up, is going down, it's going up, it's going down. So imagine you're setting up a DCA here, and it's pretty much, as you can see, if you set it up here, by the time it comes down here, you pretty much already place all those extra orders. And again, the price went up again, and boom, someone could close it here, right? So that's pretty much what the DCA is. And I've seen many people using it, but of course, most of you guys are not familiar with this. But this is something that you can sort of try on a high liquid currency, because Sol USDT is, I believe, on top 4 or top 5. So definitely is something more stable than if you were to implement DCA on some low liquid currency, which I don't suggest, right? So again, that's another way how you can utilize the DCA strategy, right? Now, I want to finally show you something else that you guys can try. So let me quickly go to, again, Master GPT, guys. So many people using it. Some people even using this on futures trade, because what Master GPT is able to do is whatever the currency that you want to trade is going to go to the internally into our sagemaster engine, and it's going to do some analysis based on all the currency pairs that we support. And it's going to come up with technical analysis and fundamental analysis. And then it will come up with a consensus to say, whether the market is in an uptrend or downtrend. Now, imagine you have to do that manually, right? But it makes it so much easier for people who are not sort of trading full time, right? So this is what makes it really, really powerful. Again, we're going to talk about the next version of Master GPT and its capabilities on the convention. So again, I don't want to speak about all the new capabilities that's going to be available. And that's just going to take things to the whole different level, because it's going to be so directly in sync with SageMaster and SFX that it's going to make your life so much easier for you to navigate around. So again, I suggest you start using Master GPT, and it is free, right? There's no extra charge. Being you're not, like, because it is in beta right now, you're not pretty much paying something extra, right? But it takes huge amount of resource to run this kind of system. But definitely people who are not using it, I suggest using it, right? Now, let's talk about something else, right? So one of the integration that we've done a long time ago, and not everybody's using it, is the fact that you can use any kind of strategy on TradingView and connect it directly to the SageMaster platform, right? And what we've been doing lately is that we are gathering some of the top community strategies, and some of them even we are making our own to run on TradingView, right? And we are pretty much doing a lot of backtest, and we're going to make this available to you very, very soon, right? And then you get to see the backtested results, right? In terms of what is the profit in 7 days, 30 days, and so on, right? What is the profit in 90 days? And then the question would be from you is that, hey, okay, I get it. I mean, these strategies, they look good. How do I connect them to SageMaster, right? And that's something that I'm going to briefly show you. But if you have time, you can definitely play around with it, right? So let me quickly show you here. As you can see, I have a strategy here running. It has 76% win rate. And how to do this is basically what you do. And we have same thing on SFX. That's going to be released this month sometime. So we're going to show it to you in terms of how you can do it, for Forex too, right? So you have to come here and let's just say, let's open something, right? Let's open a strategy. Okay, let's open. Okay, I don't have one, but what you have to do is basically, let's call it TV strategies. Okay. Now I can run this on futures if I want, or I can run it on spot. So let's just say I want to use spot, multi-pair. I want to use all USDT. And then I click on next, right? And custom trading view. So just select this custom trading view and tick this box. And then what you have to do is you don't necessarily have to change so much here, right? So in this case, extra order size is 20. And this is also 20, which is fine. And my take profit, I just want to focus on small take profit, 2%, trailing 0.2. I'm not going to use stop loss. So it depends on the we can use stop loss. It depends on the strategy that we are following, right? So in this case, just to make things simple, I'm just going to create this DCA so I can show it to you how this is going to work. So what you have to do is you have to go to alerts and you have to copy this link. We have a full guide again, guys, in terms of how to follow this, okay? Full guide. You just have to, I know this is not something like preset. You can go and click, right? And just copy, right? That's something that we are continuing to going to provide more value on it. But I'm saying if you want to take matters in your hand, right? If you want to take sort of your trading to the next level, right? Where you say, hey, you know, it's good. I can use all those other strategies available. I can use grid. I can use all of that. But I want to go to the next level, right? Where I get to play around with strategies and start taking control of, you know, my overall results, right? You can do that. That's why we are building the system so that you can support all kind of audience, right? You can support professional traders, newbies, beginners, you name it, right? But this is something like if you're using crypto for a while, it's something definitely for you to explore, right? And this is why I want to share with you. So here, as you can see, this is my link. We need this link to send us the trade. So this DCA basically saying, you need to copy this, right? So that when a signal gets created, it gets sent here to this. So in this case, what we have to do, we have to click on alert and we have to select our strategy. And then we want this strategy to run continuously, not just once. So we call it once per bar close, right? And we give a name, SGM DCA strategy, right? Now, we have to go to notification. Sorry, before we go to notification, let's select the pair that we want to trade. So in this case, we want to trade Sol USDT. We're going to copy this information. Again, it's copy and paste. You select all, paste, okay? And then we go to notification. We go to sagemaster. We copy this link because TradingView needs to know where to send the signal, right? So we come here and my one is already pasted here, but I'll paste it again, as you can see, and create. Okay, so now every time, as you can see, is created. Every time you find a signal like this, as you can see, there's a green here, it's gonna send a signal to our system. Does that make sense? Now, you don't have to trade with real account. You can trade with paper trading, right? Now here, we can come here, right? And we can do a test for you guys quickly, okay? So let's go and do a test. Let's actually edit this. Let's change that. Let's save it, okay? Okay. Then let's quickly do a test, make an alert. Let me quickly come here. Paste, test, every time, right? Notification. Let me see if my link is correct. It's the same link, basically. That link doesn't change for you. Okay. So this, boom, you just created a trade. Wait. Sorry. Let me see. Is this a multi-pair? Okay, this is not a multi-pair trade. That's why. So let's create quickly. So I can show it to you that it works. Let's go previous. Let's make it 5. Trading view. Doesn't matter. Let's select this actually. Create, save. Oh, my bad. I need to change this. TV strategies 2. Okay. Stop. Let's go solve. That's what we want to trade. Now, these are the actions. So what we are saying to the system is that every time it finds a signal, right, it is to start a trade. That's what it means, start a deal. We click on copy. Okay. Let's go back here. Let's change that. Save that. Okay. So it's going to find a trade and it's going to send it to us. 128.05. Let me change that to 60. Let me change it to 15, okay? So it's going to be much more easier to demonstrate to you. Okay, he found a trade, as you can see. Boom. You see? It's super fast. It's instant. So this is something that you guys can play around with. And of course, we're going to make a release of these strategies. We're going to give you the links, how you can connect them. You can backtest them, right? And you can start utilizing it. So this is going to be something very, very useful, I believe. And this is really going to sort of skill up some of the existing people who are using just all the other, which is okay. You can use all the other existing strategies, but this is just going to make you more versatile, if you know what I mean. And you get to truly leverage some of the other powerful features on the platform. Now, let me quickly also tell you that we are working on a very in-depth material for sagemaster DCA algorithm. And it's going to be a video, but this is just, I want to share with you in terms of explain you how this is going to work. And it's going to take you from all the way from beginner to all the way to a professional level in terms of how you can utilize sagemaster with DCA, how you can utilize all these features. So this is in progress. We're going to, I believe by end of this month, we're going to have this course ready. It's going to be done, of course, very professionally with real results. So the person that we are working with, and he's been using the platform also, he's going to show his results. And also he's playing a big, big role in terms of the creation of these materials. So it comes from a lot of experience. And I believe this is really, really going to help our community a lot. So that's something that you can look out for, that we're going to publish on MindHub for people to go and study and get familiarized with this amazing strategy. With that being said, guys, I don't want to take more time. You can, if you guys have any other question, you can ask me. Someone says, I want to program my own strategy in FX, gold, stocks, and synthetics from sagemaster. Will the option be available soon? Yes, that's something will be available. And in fact, you can already do that trading view. So if you already know Pine script, right? So let me quickly share with you. Let me quickly share with you some of those things. So if I go to the indicators, and if I go to Lux, so those who trade Forex, right? You probably heard of something called Lux Algo, and they are pretty well known in the Forex community. So they have a strategy that you can pretty much connect to the SageMaster directly. So essentially, it's the same thing I explained, where you can, or you can code your own, right? So I can give you an example. Um, so pretty much it provides, TradingView provides a way for you to code your strategy. So if you want to do that, you can certainly can. And then what you do, you set up a webhook, the integration, which I showed you earlier. So once your strategy is ready, you can connect it to the SageMaster SFX. So there'll be an option here for you on the Smart Assist. So if I go, there will be an option. So for example, like this is something will be available for SFX. So you will show Euro USD, GBP, JPY. You can select those pairs. You can connect to trading view, right? So that's one way of doing it. Other way of doing it is something that we're going to speak about in the convention in terms of what other things you can do directly within the platform, right? But that's something that's going to be available already this month for you to utilize SFX the same way as the crypto. Hopefully that answers your question. Um, is this available for the indices? Yes, it's going to be available for everything. Yes, that's the idea, right? You can find the strategy of Titan is under preset on the SFX section. That's where you will find. But if you mean a strategy, a separate strategy, like in TradingView, that's also something that you can look for. And once we release that, remember, guys, for SFX, we're going to release it this month with TradingView, right? With strategies that you can connect, where you can generate signals, things like that. What TP we should use for XUSD of David, Nate, and Ray? Oh, okay. So I had a conversation with the guys, and what they said basically, typically they are all aiming for TP1, which is like 20 pips. That's what they said. That's what they believe is. You can ask more questions to David on his live session, but at least from what I gathered when we are creating this on our discussion, they said idea is to follow TP1, and then if you're a beginner, right? But if you're someone who's slightly more advanced, you can take partial on TP1 and then essentially monitoring the condition of the market, really. And you have to pretty much follow through whatever the communication that's coming in, whether you should move your break even. That's why I showed you guys this option, how we can control the trade real time once the trade has entered the market, right? So that you don't necessarily always rely on the original settings, but sometimes you can tweak a bit based on some of the information. Yes, we have more brokers coming in. We sent a form for people to vote. So I believe there will be 3 new brokers that will be added very soon. Someone said, is this available in UK and Italy? I'm not sure what do you mean by that, but in terms of all the features available in UK and Italy, there's no restriction to that. So yeah, someone asked, what about the new traders? Yes, so we have 2 traders, actually 3. So as you know, Daniel Ching used to be one of the top provider on the Shift app. He has returned. He has spent some time working in a hedge fund company, and he decided to come back and to work again to provide, all his new experience and some of the things he has learned. He's going to focus on gold. So Daniel Ching will send gold trade on Shift, not on Titan, but he will be sending you on Shift from next week. And then we have another amazing educator. He's also was with us in the early days. He's an amazing master educator. He's going to also be joining, I believe, sometime this week, and he will be sending trades on Titan and on Shift. And he has an amazing result. So that's something that you can look forward to. And we also have another trader that's currently on staging. So we have on staging like about 20 traders, guys, right? And the reason we don't just bring all of them in is they have to go through a lot of regression tests, right? So we have to be very careful who we bring in. But some of these people that you see recently, like Daniel Ching, these guys already proved themselves, right? They already have went through test and trial. So that's why it was pretty fast process. Same again, another educator who has a proven track record. He has been a great educator on WoW also. He's coming and he's gonna do amazing. Spanish, we need this system in Spanish. I don't know what you mean. I want to be an educator on WoW. Danny, absolutely. You can definitely fill up the application form. There's a type form. I believe it's somewhere on the sagemaster or on WoW. You just have to fill that in. NFX signals, no. NFX signals cannot be on sagemaster because these brokers, they don't have APIs, unfortunately. So it cannot be on sagemaster. Why does Daniel Ching provide gold on Shift and not on Titan? Is because we want to distribute the value, right? We also want to people who are just using Shift. We also want to give them more value, guys. We're always thinking about increasing the value. So Titan, we are not stopping the gold. Titan, you'll still receive gold, but there will be just one person sending gold on Shift. You have Titan like all three guys that are sending gold, right? So it is fair that, everybody catch some gold trades, Is it possible to translate videos by AI? That's something that we're going to speak about in convention. Yes, that's something that we have in mind. Yes. Okay, guys. Sorry, I know I want to cover a few other things, but I feel like it's going to be too much overwhelming. I really want to start doing a lot of training materials and courses and stuff like that. So I feel like we can do more of these calls, but maybe we can focus on one platform at a time. Because if we go speak about SageMaster Crypto, SFX, TradingView, Master GPT, it can go for hours, right? So maybe what we're going to do is that once we have the materials already and the Excel sheet of backtest, we're going to have one mastermind session just with TradingView strategies that you can connect to the SageMaster, and then we can do same thing for SFX, and then we can like pick another one by one. So next week, we will have we'll have more information. Yes. So we will have one more professors that's coming in, and there's going to be another one, I believe, also. So yeah, more professors coming in, we have like what, 20 plus educators, so there will be more. Okay, yes, there will be more good professors. And by the way, guys, like if you've seen WoW as a platform, in terms of the improvements that we have made, now is so much better because now we are getting feedback from you guys every single day, right? And we get to see like what kind of experience you guys are having on the WoW platform. And I just want to quickly share with you guys, because it's fair I be transparent, right, with you guys, and show you like behind the scene, like how our quality control team measuring performance and looking at some of those. I mean, not many companies are doing that, but we believe is super important to make sure our quality continues to increase, right? And let me show you quickly. Let me show you. Okay. Let me go to my Zoom. Let me share my. Okay. If you guys can see my screen, let me know. Right? So as you can see, we are getting a lot of feedbacks from you guys, and we can see what's happening, right? We can see a lot of amazing feedbacks. And this is pretty much, we are measuring a lot of these, all the educators. This is how things are improving. That's why you probably haven't even noticed the quality of the sessions are now improving. Educators are more focused on more substance and more important topics, because it is defined by these factors. So, team is focused on increasing the value, the rating, the scoring, satisfaction score, feedbacks, and all that. So that's something is going to really help with the education. Is it currently better to use MT4 and MT5 with sagemaster? Okay, so let me address this issue, guys. And I know this has happened to many of you where trade did not get executed, right? And this can happen for many reasons, because remember that we are not supporting just one broker, because the signal is coming from pretty much one, like signal is coming from one specific broker, for example, Wanda. And then you guys have your own brokers. You have like, some people have 3 different brokers where you're taking trades. And what happens is that when we're trying to push all this trade, sometimes, not all the time, right? Some brokers, they don't like it, because we're trying to push hundreds and thousands of trades. So we already have improved that drastically, and you will not have that issue anymore. If you do gonna have that issue, there will be a function where you can retry the trade. So that's why it's very important that if a particular broker that you're using, and you're probably seeing some challenges where, some days it's taking the trade and other days it is not, I would say, it'd be really good you try another broker out, right? We're going to publish a report of all the brokers showing which one is, with the low spread and in terms of the precision of the execution, right? So we done a test, and we looked at, we executed, like in last several weeks, over 60,000 orders. Out of the 60,000, 95% of the orders were successful, right? And then 5%, we found few issues. Many people setting up very small risk percentage where the lot size is very small for the broker to execute. That's like 14% of the issues to do with lot size, because you're not using fixed lot size, or you're using a too small percentage that brokers are not accepting, right? So that's very important, guys, to make sure that your lot size is correct. Now, in terms of the timeout issue with MT4, MT5, that can happen on a rare occasions, but if it's happening too frequently, you can reach out to us so that we can investigate your account separately. Yes, Daniel will send it from next week. I don't know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, he could send it any day next week because that depends on the trader, right? I cannot say that he will send Monday at 8 p.m. He will send a signal. I'm not the one who's sending the trade or analyzing the market. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Feel free to send me a lot of these questions, guys, maybe on the form, and we'll sort of catch up. I know I want to say big thank you to our translation team. I'm sorry I've took way too long, but I just wanted to make sure that I cover everything I can. So let's give a big round of applause to all the leaders and the translators doing such an excellent job. Thank you so much. With that being said, guys, thank you so much. And we will see you in the convention to speak about the things that you have not probably expecting. So we'll show you there, not just talk about it. Does that make sense? With that being said, thank you so much, guys. Take care and have a good weekend.